Well, happy Friday, everybody, and welcome to day 5 of Stream Week, where we have just been doing nonstop user interface design, teaching you some basics, doing some prototyping, fun animation, as well as some basic design fundamentals. All of this is in celebration of my brand new 30-day UI designer training program, just launched this week, and it's the final day today to get 25% off if you want in. I just want to tell you a little bit about it, and then we're going to jump right into the design work today because I got a real fun one for you. We're going to build out a really cool Uber-esque kind of like driving map interaction with lots of horizontal and vertical scrolling, as well as some dialogue modal pop-ups. Just really, really cool. So let's take a look really quickly at the program, and then we'll come right back and start the design work. Are you ready to take your first steps into the exciting world of user interface design? Then stop wasting your time sifting through hours of YouTube videos and countless blog posts trying to figure out the puzzle of UI design. Here's the game changer, the 30-day UI designer program. It's an immersive 30-day hands-on journey to teach you every aspect of UI design without breaking the bank. You're going to learn the most up-to-date and modern design techniques that professional UI designers are using right now, and you're going to use Figma to do it, which is the leading design tool in our industry. You'll learn how to design for iOS, Android, responsive websites that'll make you a master of the digital medium. The program features a challenging 30-day curriculum where you will go through each and every day learning the fundamentals of UI design. 30 design exercises, 2 capstone projects that will go in your new customized portfolio. You'll have a resume and you'll have case studies. So if you're done wasting your time and ready to start your journey to master user interface design, join the 30-day UI design program and let's make your dream become a reality. All right. Well, keep in mind that if you have been following along during Stream Week, and all you had to do is download the Figma file. It's a free Figma file down below to follow along today. Here's what you're going to get when you open up the Figma file. We've seen all of the different days that we've been working. Monday, we did a little photo like editing application. Tuesday, we built a responsive side dashboard navigation with all sorts of interactions on it. We did some parallax scrolling. Yesterday, we built this really fun Disney Plus like redesign. And then today, we're gonna be building out this map, this Uber like ride order, like car share, whatever you want to call it, type application. So all you have to do, download this file, and at the end of this stream, we're going to announce a winner. So we're going to run through our design really, really quickly today. Then we're going to play a really quick game of Friday Wordle, because I like to do that with my community on Fridays. And then after that, we're going to announce our winner. So if you haven't yet, just download. I'm going to be really honest. There's only like 70 or 80 people who have downloaded the file. So you have a 1 in 65 or 70 chance or something like that of winning a $400 value of getting into the program. So all you got to do is download it right now. Do that. All right, let's jump in. Let's start a little bit of design work. So I got a bunch of assets here on the screen. We got like a bunch of different cars and kind of like a pre-made widget. I pulled this style from somewhere. I thought, hey, this is a cool style. Mix the colors up and kind of pre-built a couple of small little widgets for you in auto layout. Now, what I also did was I used a plugin to create a vector map. So you can see all of these are vector maps. And let's see, when we go to the community really quickly, I forget which map plugin I used to do this, but let's just search for map because it was called Vector Map Maker, and it made me this beautiful custom map of Austin, Texas. Okay. And then so that was really cool. And then all I did was blow that thing up and I restyled it. So look, you can see here, I have my buildings in this lighter green. I'm using my brand color for this project. I have my actual routes being the green, and then the route caps, like the little outside glow, almost looks like a lightsaber, have those in like a really opaque green. So really like that. Now the problem with these is that they are super heavy because they are such a large vector, and the larger that you make them, the more it's going to slow down your whole process. So we know that we're going to be working on a mobile app of about this size. And I know I'm going to want to scroll this map around inside. So I like this size. It gives me a lot of room to work with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this original one, this unstyled version. And then I'm going to use another plugin. I'm going to open up my runner. And this one's just called Flatten Selection to Bitmap. And it's going to go ahead and run right here inside of Figma, and boom, It's flattened it. It's broken up into a couple of JPEGs, but this is a lot quicker and easier to work with, okay? This is destructive editing. That means we're not going back, all right? I mean, we could always go in our Figma version history, but you know, we're not going to be able to like re-edit this vector, okay? So we like what we got going here. Here's what I want to do. I'm going to grab my artboard here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to rename this thing really quickly, ride share. And I'm going to zoom in on it, and I'm just going to round the corners a little bit so we know we're working on a mobile app. Here's what I'm kind of thinking. I'm kind of thinking our map goes up here, like takes up the majority of our screen. If I'm thinking of like a user experience designer, the primary thing I care about is where is my ride? Where's like the different points or locations of interest that I maybe want to book my ride? So the map is a big deal. So we want to make that the focal point. But then down below, I'd love to see like maybe a really cool image of my car and then those details. Okay, so let's first work out the kind of like scrolling interaction of our map and try to match some of the style that we got going on here. We got this kind of dark effect. It's kind of slightly gradiated. So why don't we do that? I'm going to draw a frame over here really quickly, pop, 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 just like that inside. And I'm going to drag it down to about there. That's what I want my map to take up, the space that I want my map to take up. I'm just going to fill this with a color so you can see it really quickly. And I'm going to drag my map into one of these frames and I'm going to center it. I'm just going to use my alignment, center and alignment tools there. Very cool. Okay, so now we have our map, but now I want to get that, I want to get that like that overlay, that gradient. So I'm going to take this thing right here, this frame. I'm going to name this gradient. I'm just going to make it a full-on overlay. Let's move over to gradient land here. And let's take our first color and pump it up. Our second color, we're going to grab that background color, but bring the opacity down. Let's move this to a linear gradient. And okay, so we're seeing through right now, which is kind of nice. So what we want to do is let's put our map into our design, pop it right there, just make sure it lines up to the top. Ooh, watch out, to the top of our design like so. Now let's bring our gradient in without dumping it inside of the other map. See, this is what we don't want. We want this thing to sit on top and we want it to just always be there. Okay, so we're just going to make sure that, let's see, we got a couple of things going on. None of these are actually inside of the layer, right? This is our rideshare layer right here. Let's take our map and our gradient and drop them inside. There we go. You can see it's now containing everything. I'm going to lock the gradient because we don't need to worry about that. And now you can see we get this kind of like cool effect from that gradient. Now it's a little too much, so we might bring down the opacity. I'm just working on the right side contextual panel and bringing the opacity down. Okay, and I might add, I like that little kind of like feeling of the outside. I forget what that's called. But I'm going to do another gradient going from the bottom up, and that way the whole map like just totally fades out. Okay, that's what I want. Bring the opacity down. Let's bring this one all the way up. And I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to bring the gradient all the way up. We're going to manage the individual gradients. Okay, so fantastic. Let's bring this down. Okay, so now we don't have that hard line. It's going to softly gradiate up, and we're getting a little bit of that kind of like edge, kind of like drop off, which is what we're looking for. For the life of me, I can't think of what that's called. Somebody chat, somebody like who's watching right now in the live stream, let me know, what is that thing called, okay? Where you have like a photo and it has the real like faded out edges. Gosh, I'm just having a complete brain fart this morning, okay? Here's what else we got on our demonstration is we have some little points of interest. Like, I like these little things right here, right? Let's grab one of those and duplicate one, bring it outside, paste it right here. So we have those little guys. We have our little points of interest that have like the name next to it. So let's bring that outside. We're going to turn those into some components of some kind. And I have my little trail, my little track, okay? So, or like my little route that's happening. So let's grab that element as well. Yep, like that, group that whole thing together and just paste that outside here as well. Okay, so we got a couple of elements. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to call this a pop-up. You can call it modal, call it whatever you want. I think we might center these next to each other. Shift A, turn auto layout on, and I'm going to call this something like POI, point of interest. Okay, I'm going to turn that into a component because I love components. Turn this one into a component as well. And okay, fantastic. Now I am going to cheat and I'm going to bring my map back out of here. Okay, so let's bring my map back out. I have my gradient still sitting in there, and I'm going to unclip the content. It's going to get massive. Boom, there's my whole map. Now the reason you want to do this is because I'm going to put all these points of interest on the map. They need to be on the map, so as I move and scroll around vertically and horizontally on the map, that the points of interest stay locked into their designated areas. If they're outside of the map layer, they're going to stay here, and the map's going to move. It's not going to be very functional. Okay, so that's what I'm getting at right now. Okay, so I'm going to go into my assets really quickly. Let's go into our Friday assets here, and let's drag in a version of that and drag in a version of this. Beautiful. Let's call this Mom's House. Let's just come up with some really fun names here for our points of interest. Let's say this next one is the arcade. Okay, places where do people want to go? Let's talk about the water park. I'm like naming all activities right now. The water park, and let's do one more. We'll call it the museum. Okay, the museum. Is that how you spell museum? Yeah, maybe not. Okay, cool. We got a bunch of points of interest. I'm going to grab all of them and cut them out. Just Command or Control X. I'm going to come into my map, go back over to my layers, and make sure that I'm actually in the map. Okay, and then I'm going to paste these in right there. Okay, now my map is actually, yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so now anywhere I put these should work. Okay, so I should be able to grab this thing and say maybe this is Mom's house up over there. And you do have to be careful, because as you start to, leave outside of the frame, the place in which it's framed, you're going to get weird. It's going to try to pop out, right? Which we don't want that. So we could do like, the arcade right there. And I don't know, let's put the museum right there. And let's put that right there. And I'm just going to go in really quickly and turn off multiplayer cursors. Not that I don't love you all, but I just want to be able to concentrate. Okay, very cool. So now all of our points of interest are inside of our map like that, okay, which is really, really helpful. Next thing we need to do is now we can just, we can actually clip that content. Let's put it back in to our rideshare application, just like that. I'm going to hit Command and the left and right brackets to move it up and down in my layer panel. So I'm just putting it behind. I want to make sure that it, it goes behind that little gradient of mine. Let's get this water park like more right in the middle, so that right when you open this app, you have a point of interest somewhere close by. Now I have these little pop-ups here, and we're going to use these as modals, little kind of interactive modal pop-ups here. Let's call this Mom's house, and we'll just, these are not all auto layouted and fancy, so we're going to fake the funk on these a little bit, so we get the arcade, and let's just do the water park. Okay, water park, like that. Okay, great. You can change all the other stuff if you want to, that's fine, but we're going to name these really quickly. We're going to name this one pop-up 1 and pop-up 2 and pop-up 3, and then we're going to add those kind of like modal dialogues. Okay, so watch, we're going to go into prototype mode now, and what we're going to say is the water park. We're going to click on this and we're going to drag it over to our water park version. It's going to say on tap. We want to open an overlay, pop-up 3. Why don't we move it in, right? I'm going to move, like, I can imagine it kind of fading up there. Let's do a spring, like a nice little spring effect. That's nice. And let's make it a little bit crisper, like 300 milliseconds. Boom, just like that. And then I'm going to make sure I close when I click outside of it. Let's add a little 25% background. I love it. That looks really, really good and should be awesome, just like that. Okay. Now I like that interaction. So let's come over here and just really quickly, let's uncontain our map. And let's uncontain our main application here. Okay, so you have the arcade. This looks super crazy on my screen right now, but I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to jump over there on tap. I want to open up the overlay. Got all those same settings. Close the background. Do that whole thing. Everything's looking good there. And then the last one, I believe, was Mom's house. So let's just prototype that down on tap. Open up the overlay. Boom and boom. We're just making sure that we get that close the background outside. Now, where do we actually position these things? We got to go back and check on them. Okay, so let's just really quickly grab on that. It's saying centered. Ooh, do we always want it to be centered, or do we want to manually place this thing? I want to manually place it. I want to put it directly above my little element every single time. Let's do the same thing here, and let's manually place it. So you can see I just get to pop it exactly where I want it, which is very, very helpful. And let's do the arcade. And again, let's manually place it. Okay, grab here, manually place it. And our arcade one can go right there. Okay, so now we've manually placed everything. Let's jump out of prototype mode, back to design mode. And we're going to, let's just zoom out a little bit so we get some space here. Our rideshare app, let's clip the content, put it back in. And let's grab our map. Let's reclip that content. And the last thing we need to do is go into our map in prototype mode and just change scrolling to be both directions, okay? Vertical and horizontal. We should be able to select this right now. It's going to open up our prototype. And we should be able to, once it loads, oh, you got to load for us though, fella. There we go. Now we can move our little map around, find a point of interest, click on it, and it pops it up. And then when we click anywhere outside, it sends it away, which is kind of nice. Now it is popping up like really, really far. So maybe we want to have it just like dissolve or like instantly happen. But I mean, so far so good, you know, like not bad. It's a kind of a cool effect. It is a little bit dark around the edges, so I definitely want to go back and fix my gradient just a bit, like my radial gradient. Maybe I could take down to more like 50%. And let's see. Perfect. Somebody's saying they're trying to download the Figma file. All you got to do is click the link down in the description, put in your email, and it'll get sent to you. The link to it should be 100%. Everyone's been making it work all week long. So let me know if you still have issues doing that. Okay, I'm going to grab my car. Let's bring my car in and center align it. And I think I kind of like this idea of like getting it just like, you know, we're bridging the gap there. We're breaking the mold a little bit and getting it up into position. I really like that. And let's grab our two cards here and let's just zoom in. We got like who your driver is and where the route currently is. So let's Shift A, put those in an auto layout just so we're organized here. Let's bring those in and center those on our page as well. Ooh, kind of cool, kind of cool. Do we want to overlap the car? No, we're going to keep it just like that. But we might move our car up a little bit, and we might as well just end this thing out with a nice iOS little pull bar at the bottom. I'm going to do the border radius of 360 degrees, hit I for eyedropper, and just pick that color. Boom, center our pull bar, pull these down here. Pretty cool. All right, the last thing we didn't put in was our route. So let's get in here really quick. Let's just clip that and drill down on our map here. So we are on the map. Beautiful. And let's put our route in there. And to grandmother's house we go. Okay, so let's just flip this thing around and find a good route. Now it's kind of blending, so I might want to take that stroke and pick like a color that pops a little bit more, like a yellow, something that's just kind of in there like that. Now we can rework this if we want to, but that looks pretty good. I'm gonna round the corners just a little bit more, and we get this nice blended like mobile application here. Let's just go into presentation mode one more time and see how it looks. Okay. Okay, so jumping out, it does take a little bit of time to load because that image is so big, but once we get in there, man, this looks pretty slick. You can click on these and get the details of that location. You know, boom, we'll do this one. Pretty nice. I think we cleaned up that gradient around the edges so it's not so intrusive. And if we really wanted to, we could probably add like a little drop shadow or something on these little text labels to make them pop a little bit more, or maybe encapsulate the whole thing. I'd love to maybe even do like, you can't really do a hover, but I was going to say some way to kind of encapsulate these just a bit more might be nice. But that's a nice little experience built within just a few minutes using some of those native things. I think the real magic here is being able to manually place these tags, these dialogues wherever you want. That's kind of crucial because then they stay right? Like directly locked in. It's not always just happening dead center or towards the bottom or something. It feels really, really customized. They're always on the points of interest. So even if it's down here, it feels a bit customized, right? Feels pretty nice. I like it a lot. And that is our design for the day. Gonzalo J. Castro says, it works awesome. I love it. It's a lot of fun. This was a fun one to build, a fun one to think through. You can take this and just continue to build upon it for sure. And we're just double checking in a couple of minutes here, we're going to play Wordle really fast. And then we're going to, I think, end the entries. So if you want to get in, there's only 65 people right now who are signed up, 1 in 65 chance to win. Free entry. All you had to do is download the Figma file. And let's play Wordle right now, shall we? And we'll give it a few more minutes. Jump over to Wordle. I have not done this one today, so I don't know what the answer is. We're going to hit play. If you don't know how to play Wordle, it's a really, really easy game. I'm just going to open up my dev tools really quickly, and I'm going to get rid of this horrible banner at the top. Bye-bye banner. Thank you, dev tools. Here we go. You know the game, right? It is a 5-letter word. We get 6 attempts to it, and we like on this channel to try to get it within the first 4. You guys can help me. This is a team experience that we're doing here, okay? Let's end our Friday with a bang. We're going to put in words, and they're going to show up either not in letters, and the letters are going to show up not in the word. They are in the word in the wrong position, or if it goes green, it's the right letter in the right position. I always like to try to start with something, like a lot of vowels in there as much as we can get. How about like towel? That gives you an O and an E. W's are a little bit tricky. Let's do. Oh, the T is in the right position. Okay, so we have no O, W, E, or L, but we do have a T. We're starting with a T. I like getting that first letter. Help me out in the chat. If you are here, let me know what you think this word might be. Is it T-R-U-C-K, truck? T-R-U-C-K. We haven't tried those letters yet. Let's try truck. We do have an R, but it's in the wrong position. Okay, so now we have T. Oh, T, something R. There's no E, T-I, T-I-R, T-I-R, tires, tired, tier. Ooh, I don't know. I need some help in the chat. Come on, help me out a little bit here, chat. This is a team effort here. Okay, I don't know what that is. That we tried an A yet. Tarot cards. Ooh, let's try it. T-A-R-O-T. Well, there's no O. Tearing up my heart. It's an NSYNC song. Good God. All right, I'm really bad at this game. Have you guys figured that out? Tarps. How about tarps? Tarps? We're so last. Okay, come on. This is like, we like to get it on by at least the 4th try. So bad at this. T-A-R. Oh my gosh, I can't believe we got the first 3. Tear. I'm looking at the other letters here. Tear. What do we got? Tarry? Should the Lord tarry? Tardy. T-R-D-Y. Tardy. We didn't do a D. We didn't do a Y. I like tardy. I feel like it could be it. Fingers crossed. Oh, we gotta get the yes. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, yes. Dude, that's what I'm talking about. 100% win rate. We are on a streak right now. 4 games played. Oh my gosh, that felt really, really good. Hey, if you haven't done so yet, make sure that you like and subscribe to this channel. I am now going to download and turn into a list. We got 65 subscribers. Let's download this, and we're going to upload it into a spreadsheet. And we are going to upload it and then pick a number between 1 and 65. Okay, let's do 1 and 65. And we'll be able to do that here in a second. Let me just grab it. And while we're doing that, let me tell you a little bit more about the program if you haven't already signed up. The program is a 30-day immersive journey. So it's not a course. It's not just a bunch of video lessons. There's live sessions every single month. You're going to get access to the learning community where you get to connect with other people and myself. So definitely a really rad experience. And man, and right now it is an insane deal to get that much off, 25% off. Okay, so let's do 25% off here. I'm just doing a few things behind the scenes. Stay with me. We're going to be picking a winner right now. I'm going to be importing. I don't want to show anybody's email and do anything sketchy like that. So I'm going to do this in the background. But if you have any questions, hey, let me know. Ask those questions right now. And I'd love to answer any questions that you have while I'm doing this. All right. Do we have any questions in the chat? No, we just got a bunch of good lucks. I like good lucks. I'm not opposed to good lucks. I'm almost done. Let's just get a few of these things happening. Okay. And I'm going to hide a few things really quickly. Let's just hide you. We don't want you to see anybody's name or email. We want you to see their name. All right. We got some interesting entries here. Let's jump over and take a look. I have, let's see, number, somebody said tardy. Yeah. Okay. Okay. We have all of our names right in here. Boom, shakalaka. And everybody entered in their names. Some people entered in a number 1, but there was still an email associated with it. So let's just go for it. Okay. So we have the number 2 all the way through number 66. Let's open up our number picker. The minimum is 2 and the maximum is 66. Okay. So are we ready to generate a number between 2 and 66 to see who the winner is? Drum roll, please. Here we go. Generate. And the number is 32. The number is 32. Let's go back up and find our winner. Our winner is Hayden. Hayden, if you're out there, you are the winner. You're going to get an email from me today with a free invitation to the 30-day UI Designer program. For the rest of you, don't worry. It's still 25% off. You still get that opportunity. So don't miss the opportunity to jump in and start learning UI design in the next 30 days. You get 2 capstone projects, 30 plus different exercises, 145 pre-recorded lessons, as well as live sessions each month with me and other design experts. And at the end of it, you get a completion certificate of completion, and you'll be building your case studies, portfolio, and capstone projects. So make sure that you join inside the program. This is the week to do it. I love that everybody in the chat right now is being so supportive to Hayden. Congrats, Hayden, on winning free entry. Expect that email from me today. And everybody else, have a fantastic Friday, a great weekend, and I hope to see you very, very soon back here online for another live stream talking about UI design, web design, and all things digital. We'll see you in the next one, everybody.